a very naive and hopeful scheduler.
Oh, that day. There's no clouds out there.
There isn't any clouds. Well, there's some really, really high.
Don't do anything.
High clouds, but we did have a little bit of moisture yesterday.
Not
you can
enough.
be grateful. No, not enough. It's never enough. But, you know, the little bit of weather I'll be grateful for. The other thing that, you know, I mean, it's quite horrible. My husband and I were having a discussion about, you know, the legislative updates and all of the different political things going on. So it's just funny that somebody got unresponsive at a desk. Hopefully he was just taking a nap.
No, he actually did have a medical issue. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that is definitely.
But if I was up in the legislature, I guarantee it would be nap time every day.
Right, like I'm not sure why they don't like have couches and like lounge things so people can just like pass out and like sleep for a minute. It just, you know, get that entertaining. But talk about entertainment. Guess who my co-host is today?
You'll never believe it.
The Shake, Rattle, and Pull, famous Leon. How are you doing today, Leon?
Good. Good morning with everybody out there in Radio Land. It's been an honor to come on this show. And today we're going to talk about alignments, why you need an alignment, why you don't need alignment, questions that will be asked when you ask for an alignment. Even if you don't go to my shop or you go to somebody else, listen to this and then it will educate you on being able to ask the right questions and possibly get the right answers. Then you know if you're going to the right shop to have your alignment checked or if you even need an alignment.
Well, and what's really beneficial about this is, good morning, this is McKenna Hansing, host of Wired Wednesday. What's really educational about good questions, because in my profession, I just want to educate people. Now, whether they come to me or not, it's typically about coverage because I'm offering better coverage for either the same or slightly more, you know, in premium. But it's the questions and the coverages that I focus on. And so you're saying that carries into different industries like the automotive industry.
Heck yes, yeah, because if you don't ask the customer that comes in, because a lot of times they don't know. They know something's wrong with their vehicle, but they don't know the answer, or they've watched way too many YouTube videos or of that nature.
but pause. Question for Dr. T and Leon. Is YouTube more educational than public education right now?
Oh, in some ways you get that right. You get that right hit back there back there in New Orleans or whatever. Hey, you gotta take this and wrap this around that, and my golly, you'll have something there, buddy.
Missing a few teeth,
yeah,
too, right?
Yeah. But on alignments, you know, one of the number one questions customers will come in and say, hey, I need an alignment with my vehicle. I just got new tires. And you'll say, well, what did it do before you put the new tires on? And we'll ask questions. Did it have inside wear? Did it have outside wear? Did you have a vibration? Did it do something funny when you stepped on the brake? Did it do something funny when you stepped on the acceleration?
Can I stop you really quick right there?
Yeah.
For those of us who don't speak alignment, when you say inside wear, I'm like, well, yeah, I have a t-shirt and jeans on.
Yeah.
And when you say outside wear, I'm like, yeah, I had my heavy coat on.
Can I take a shot at this one?
Yeah, that gets technical, and so
so on the
tires are black.
They're the things that go round and round on your car.
Yeah, the little round things on your car. But in today's age, with all this information out there, I guess I take it for granted that people don't realize that the composition of a tire or the inside outside wear. So that's a good question, which will help me help them. And then I'm from the show me state, so I like to go, hey, let's walk out and look at your car. You show me what you think it's doing, and then I can show you what I could do, which that usually solves a lot of problems because I want people to come into the shop and show me so we can discuss it because, like you said, inside coat, outside coat, they might be thinking of that. I'm thinking of something totally different. We need to get on the same page.
Well, right. And so a tire has a crown, right?
Kind of. Some of them are more asymmetrical. Some of them are symmetrical.
But I mean, for our listeners, let's just take a tire in general.
A tire is the little
right?
4 little black things that are on the ground.
Yes. So when you have inside wear, it means that the wear of the tire is happening closer to the car itself, and you cannot see it.
Closer to the inside of the car, the engine.
And you have to be able to feel it. You can actually feel inside wear.
Yes. And so I'll have people, hey, jump in your car and will you turn it one way, all the way?
Right.
And then I get them out of the car, and then I can show them the difference between outside, inside, middle.
And the outside wear is on the outer part of the tire that that is facing the sun all the time wherever you're driving, basically.
And normally, here's another thing that comes in there is rotations, is any vehicle that you leave the tires on the front of most vehicles, and now rear vehicles, because they have adjustment on the rear instead of a solid axle, will wear the tires slightly in a funny way, a feathering or a back feather or slight cupping. That should be rotated every 5,000 miles and moved around on the car.
So then our tires are really the first sickness of us needing an alignment.
Yeah, they're the lifeline, and then it comes down to people don't know that, hey, these tires only lasted me 2 years. They know that. They know time.
Yeah.
But they don't realize how many miles they put on that time. Do you remember when you put them on? And a lot of times they can go in their jockey box or their glove box and find when they put them on, and they'll go, wow, I put more miles on there than I thought. And then I'll say, how many times have you had your tires rotated in 2 years?
Let me guess. The typical answer is none.
No, usually they'll say once or twice. They'll think about it, and maybe once or twice.
So every 5,000 miles, you're saying?
Every 5. If you get a car that's got a lot of miles on it, a lot of age, and you don't have a lot of money to put into it, sometimes I've told customers, hey, let these 2 wear out on the front where the problem is, because you can't afford to fix it. When them wear out, put the old set of tires from the rear up front, let them wear out, and then they get a little longer life. Gives them a time to get a handle and get some money saved up to be able to do the repairs. But tire wear is one of the problems.
So let me ask, I want to jump back to something you said, because I also want to capture your expertise here.
Okay.
Describe for me what would be something funny when I press either the brake or the accelerator. What do you, when you said,
what's off? Like, how would I know that
what would
there's
you be
something
looking
wrong?
for?
Well, if somebody says, well, I get on the freeway and I go up to Walmart, and when I get off the interchange at 65, 75 miles an hour, the minute I step on the brake, I get a shake up through the steering wheel.
Okay, so that
tells me that you don't have an alignment problem right off the bat. It tells me that you might have warped rotors. So I say, hey, let's see if there's something loose, like a tie rod or something of that nature, that is aggravating when you step on the brake. But a lot of times that vibration is me asking them enough questions to say, hey, maybe we need to go into a different area first.
Because it might not be an alignment.
Right, especially when it comes to vibrations, okay? So low speed vibration, wheel going back and forth like this, rotating back and forth from, say, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock at low speeds, below 40 miles an hour. That's, they'll say, well, I need an alignment. And you'll say, what's your problems? I got this low speed vibration. That's usually a out around tire or a bent wheel or a combination of both. or a bent axle, a bent spindle, something of that nature that, you know, they might have bumped a curb, or they might, the
I
tire
was
might
gonna say, is this like off-right rallying my car, or is this little
that-
things that I'm not noticing that I've actually done to my car?
Not necessarily. I mean, usually, I mean, that's why we ask these simple questions. Now, at 45, a lot of these vehicles will have a little bit of a hop at 45. You don't know this, but in the art of balancing, there's 5 harmonics. So that's a wavelength that goes up and down, up and down, up and down, from 0 to positive to negative. We can only balance 4 of those harmonics. At 45, right there, if you get that little hop and then you drive at 50 and it goes away, that's one of the harmonics that we cannot play with. They've chose not to play with it because now we're going 80, 90 miles an hour on the freeway.
Right.
They've chose to do the harmonics from like 60 on up to balance that tire so you don't have a shake. So they'll say, well, I have a vibration at 75 miles an hour to 80. You might not necessarily need an alignment. You've got vibrations, but that's another thing that I have the technical equipment to do both, to find vibrations and be able to tell the customer why the vibration's there, instead of just putting it on a machine and say, hey, yep, had 3 of my best guys balance it. I mean, I have the technology and gives me information and feedback so I can give the customer.
Which goes to why you're a prime educator in the alignment world, and you want people to understand what's going on with their vehicle so that they can make their own decisions. But you also have the highest technology in town for those specific problems.
And then that is true. And I want them, I've turned alignments away. I said, hey, you don't need an alignment. You know, I had one in just yesterday. Hey, I'm thinking about replacing these tires on my truck, but I think I need an alignment. Let's go out and look at your old set of tires. They were perfect. I mean, they were just normal wear. I go, don't spend your money on alignment.
Okay, so, well, then let's go really quickly into all of the things, because I know Aaron with an E wants us to talk only about alignments, but we're going to kind of divert a little bit. So one, Leon's Alignment offers more than just alignments. We offer tire, some oil changes.
Full service maintenance.
Full service maintenance.
I call myself a full service maintenance repair shop. So if you have a check engine light on, or you have a shake, a rattle, a pull, a light on the dash, come to me first. If it's not in our wheelhouse, I'll let you know it's not in our wheelhouse. I'll just, you know, I do charge diagnostic fees, but if it's something I can't give you a good answer for, we don't charge for the diagnostics.
Well, and so in all the different tires, so let's say I just bought a high tootin' truck, and then I decide to lift it, and then I put some, you know, more high tootin' rims and tires on it.
And the first thing that should have been told to you is you just took $1 million and you threw it out the door.
Fair. So walk us through that.
No.
How do we benefit, or how do we make sure that our ride is still the ride that it
You
should be?
just need to remember that when you lift one, lower one, put custom wheels on, do custom tires, that vehicle had some engineer or a bunch of engineers put all this money in it to get it to drive the way it does with that certain tire, that certain wheel, that certain suspension, everything. And now that when you go to the aftermarket world, put aftermarket stuff on there, it changes the ride ability or changes the characteristics of the vehicle. As long as you know that you need to start possibly back at square one and have to maybe do a few modifications, or, hey, my vehicle is going to do this and do that, and be okay with it, it's great. They look great. I mean, and some, they do what they're supposed to do, you know, like my dad said, you know, he says, well, why did you put them on there? And I says, because I like them. And he says, you can't see it when you're driving it. And I says, well, when I get out of the vehicle, it looks pretty and I can see it. And, you know, but that, I mean, that goes back to, you got to be careful, because in the last few years, the aftermarket world used to be better than a lot of the dealer stuff. You could get aftermarket parts and get a better quality part. It's reversed itself. Now, we at Leon's, we tend to use only certain brands and certain parts that'll work for us. And in some of these situations, that part is a dealer part. The dealer part is far better. For instance, suspension, lower control arms on a Toyota will go 9 years on a factory one. I've seen people go only a year on an aftermarket one and come back and go, why?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And these aren't necessarily quick fix.
No, it's expensive to fix that.
They're expensive. They're time consuming. And so when you go to from tire wear to shaking, increasing speed or decreasing speed and different things, you want to go to Leon because he's going to help you find the best quality thing going on with your vehicle.
And then another big thing that I say is if your foundation is not strong enough, your finish work will never hold. So if you got a car with 200,000 miles on it, you've had it in the alignment shop 6 times in the last 6 months, it's not the alignment's fault in most cases. It's the suspension is too weak to hold an alignment. So the suspension allows the vehicles to have what they call a jounce and rebound. And if they go past that jounce and rebound point that the manufacturer has built into the car, you will get abnormal wear that you have no control of. One of them is called diagonal wipe. You'll see these big truck tires that are $400 a piece with a tread, looks like a wave going across the tread. Mm-hmm. And it'll be every 3 or 4 inches, they'll have this wave going across the tread, and it's called diagonal wipe. That's a sign of the suspension or the foundation not being strong enough to hold an alignment. There's things that, there's 3 or 4 things. Air pressure. I always ask them, are you running the proper air pressure in them? And they'll usually say, well, whatever the TPMS sensor, if the light goes off, then that's what I put in them. But a lot of times on a lifted truck, you take a tire and you take a 4-ply, what they call a 4-ply or a standard load tire that it came with, and then all of a sudden you put these custom wheels and tires and you put a 10-ply. Well, the difference in air pressure on a standard load tire averages between 32, 36 pounds. Extra loads run 40 pounds. Load C rated tires run 50 pounds. E runs 65. You put a 10-ply on there, 80 pounds. They're designed to load. So what's that?
2 more minutes.
Okay, so we need to put the proper air pressure in that tire to handle that ply rating of the tire to keep the tire wear down. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. When you say I need an alignment, I'm going to ask you a lot more questions, and then it helps me get to the bottom of it.
Well, and at the end, it also makes us a better consumer because we understand the questions and the answer, right?
Right.
If I'm shaking, speeding up, what's happening, right? Or different things. But at Leon's Alignment, you have a full staff, and your expertise specifically can go through all of these diagnostic questions, and then at the end be like, it's your decision, but this is our recommendation.
Yeah, I'll let you make and don't be mad. I'm just giving you our honest opinion. I've got 47 years. The mad scientist has got 47 years. Superman Slack, Kendall Slack, he's got 37 years. My lowest tech has got 5 years. Erin put herself through school and is now graduated, so she's got 8 years, plus put herself through school. And with the technical equipment that I've got to be able to handle your business, puts me in that range that I'm not more of a doctor, I'm more of a specialist. And I might be $10 more, but I guarantee I'm going to be $20 better.
Well, the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
The value is there.
I have a very odd question for you, Mr. Leon.
Yeah.
Are you still having fun doing this?
Yeah, I'm in 28 more months, I am going to become a consultant.
28.
28 more months, so I've been counting down, and so I'll be able to consult, and then Erin could make all the decisions. She makes them now, but I've never.
What's the difference?
I've never been a consultant, so I want the consultant.
Well,
I go outside and consult myself. I sit out there.
So, Leon, in the last minute or so of the show, what is the one piece of advice you need everybody in Iron County and listening to know?
The biggest thing is find somebody that you can trust. Find you a repair shop that you can trust. Stick with them. They're not going to lead you wrong. You know, whether it's me or somebody else. But to me, it's trust. I mean, I do what I do. I'm great at what I do. Some people don't think that I can do, but I know I can do. So, like I tell my help, I says my best guess is better than most people's actual work, and I prove it to them time after time after time. So, I'm good at what I do. I apologize. Sometimes I come across as a little bit hard, but I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what.
Well, and that's one thing that I love about our friendship and our relationship. We've known each other, well, me and you specifically, about 20 years, and then you've known my family, you know, much longer than me.
Oh, yeah.
And
Because you are only 20 years old, right?
I am.
Yeah, right.
I am. But, I mean, he went to high school with some of my aunts and uncles, and so it really is a family-oriented business and relationship because we are Iron County, and we want to provide value.
We all live in the same boat here.
So let's take care of each other, and let's be honest with each other.
Yeah.
You know, the most powerful thing we can do as professionals is educate the population on better things.
Right.
This has been McKenna Hansen with
Wired Wednesdays. Did I do it right?
Now, you know what we're expecting from you, Leon.
And Leon's driven by perfection.
There we are.
Thank you for joining us for Wired Wednesday. This is your host, McKenna Hansen, your local Farm Bureau financial agent at 435-592-2021. And real estate needs with the Larkin Group at Keller Williams, 435-592-2021. Thank you so much for joining us for Wired Wednesday.
Yeah, by the way, how are you doing to top Karate Kid?
I'm going on the campaign trail.
Oh, oh, that's on it.
This is 2020.